Welcome back to Jellyamico Podfix. This is Mind Games, We're All Related, written by Letstretch_RK and read by Jellyamico. These will be chapters 4 through 6. Chapter 4, Game Time Trolling. Summary: Izuku, Hitoshi, and Denki were going to try and teach Shouta how to play video games. They come across something more interesting. Hizashi doesn't want to know. Really, Sho? That's the gamer tag you go with? Izuku sighs. He should have seen it coming. Fucking never. I compel you, Insomniac, ZZZ. Pikachu. What? I think it's fitting for me. Shouta shrugs, not really caring if no one else liked the game. I like it. It's very on brand for a Todoroki to have a gamer tag like that. Hitoshi snorts, leaning over to check his controller, if his controller was working. What are we playing anyway? I'm sure whatever it is, no offense, Shouta, that this guy won't be very good. Denki jabbed his thumb in Shouta's direction. The other boy didn't seem bothered by that. It was more than likely the truth anyway. Call of Duty! We're going to start with a game series that is pretty newbie friendly. We may also get the chance to show him how to shit talk the other team in Search and Destroy. Izuku smirked. The smirk only morphed into an expression of shock at some of the other game tags on the opposing team. Handyman, Blood Bank, Split, no I'm not, Magic Mike, F you Endeavor, Slippery Snake. It must be the League of Villains. This is a perfect opportunity to mess with them. Hey, Hitoshi, do you have your voice changer on handy? Izuku asked his brother. The league or in the other team. The speed that the other three teens' eyes snapped to the screen almost reminded Izuku of Ida's Quirk. He was sure their eyes would fly across the floor. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Hitoshi questions the others. Troll them? Denki adds. Bingo. That motherfucker! They're teabagging my body again! Tomura was furious. He had 0 kills. 0. None. The other Endeavor hater in the team looked like he'd never touched a controller in his life before. Wait, other Endeavor hater? Holy shit, they were playing against UI students. Dobby, I think the guy with the fucking Endeavor as his gamer tag is your brother. I know. Dobby deadpan towards Tomura. Hey, handjob! Hey, handjob! You fucking suck! A voice loudly exclaimed through the voice chat. I'll kill you! All of you! Tomura yells back. In game or in real life or in the game, you haven't been very successful at either. Another voice came through. Tomura didn't recognize those voices. Give me your blood! Himiko was shouting down her own mic into the voice chat. My blood? No thanks. Got your own. I like my blood where it is, thanks. Izuku and Hitoshi were having way too much fun with this. Shouta and Denki were just sitting back to watch the show unfold. You're rude. No, you're not. That must be twice. The brothers had all heard about the different members of the league. Magic Mike? Do you have that name because you're all customers? Because he calls all your customers to disappear? Denki sarcastically asks. Hitoshi's boyfriend was finally getting into it. I'm not a stripper. Why are you named Magic Mike then? Hitoshi spoke. I thought it would be funny. It is funny, just not in the way that you expected. Ouch. That totally serious sounding comment coming from Shouta. I'm the leader of the group. Oh, you stop talking. You don't sound like a leader, Dusty. That voice sounded eerily similar to Sho. That must be Dobby. Oi, Mr. Burns! Shut up, please! Izuku yells. He couldn't help but laugh at the choked laughter Handjob let out at the same time. Mr. Burns? Do I look like I'm yellow? I don't know. I've never met you. Izuku snaps back. Shigaraki Tomura, stop all the incessant yelling! A muffled voice could be heard from the background. Is that Mr. Potato Head? Shouta inquired. Mr. Burns, Dracula, Magic Mike, Mr. Potato Head, Two-Face, Slippery Snake? Is that Spinner? So Godzilla. They have an entire movie cast in there, Denki exclaimed. 1v1 me on Rust. Snipers only. I'll show you heroes who's the best. Oh yeah? You didn't get a single SMD kill, Hitoshi smugly stated. That's very hard to do when I'm surrounded by riot shields. Give me that controller. I'm better at sniping than you are, Krusty Krab. All that the 14s could hear was developed shouting between the members of the League of Villains, smashing, and a small amount of laughter. A knock sounded at the door of Hitoshi's dorm. Standing up to open it, he wasn't expecting to find his papa on the other side. He glanced back at Izuku, seeing his brother tense up slightly at seeing the blonde. What were you about to say, Hito? That was from Denki. Parmaham! I was about to say we needed some Parmaham for the dorms. Hitoshi shot a death glare at his twin, who was curled up in a ball laughing. Hisashi was just confused. He actually had no desire to find out. Hisashi was confused. He actually had no desire to find out what type of chaos his sons were causing now. He would be downing that bottle of alcohol he had stored at home for occasions just like this. He was starting to agree with Shouta. They didn't get paid enough to deal with this shit. He's going to stay out of whatever Izuku and Hitoshi has gotten themselves into. Hisashi very quickly noped his way down the elevator and out of the dorms. He had a drink with his name on it, awaiting him back at his and Shota's own teacher's dorm. Chapter 5. Aizawa's turn. Hitoshi could only smirk onto his hand as his classmates and friends walked into the room that morning. He had another plan to cause chaos, but this time they're going to do it to their dad, to see how long the mad could last before the cracks shone through. He'd gotten Denki to go out with Shouta to buy some decaf coffee. His dad would be affronted at the sight of the stuff. The man better be prepared. He was about to get more than that. It was planned to perfection. Izuku had gone through enough coffee to last him to the last year of UA. Already, so when the rest of their class saw him walking around with a jar full of coffee, they thought nothing of it. What they didn't know was that Izuku had been in the middle of replacing their dad's normal coffee with decaf coffee. This was going to be a good one. Hitoshi was struggling to hide how his smirk widened as the tired raven walked into the room. Morning, Hellspawn. We'll be doing some hand-to-hand training today, Aizawa spoke, picking up his steaming hot mug of coffee. Hitoshi dared a smile, a small glance towards his brother. The little look-alike of their dad was staring down at his desk, shoulders shaking lightly with laughter. That laughter only intensified at the sound of utter disgust and spitting reaching their ears. Yes, it worked. Their dad must have taken a small swig of his coffee. That's disgusting. Blech. Decaf coffee. A quick Quirk glared, burning into the souls of every student. Well, 18 students' souls. Izuku and Hitoshi were more than used to it by now. That wasn't all the surprises they'd left the man. Hitoshi may or may not have brainwashed Hagakure into swapping All Might's schedule with her dad's. Hitoshi had no doubt that their dad had memorized his own schedule, as well as the other teachers. All Might? No chance. So later in the day, when they were about to start their hand-to-hand combat lesson, All Might bursting through the door wasn't any surprise. It was to his dad, though. "I am here, coming in like a hero!" All Might was shouting as loud as his lungs could manage. "All Might, what are you doing here?" Hitoshi may feel kind of, ever so slightly, bad at the way his dad was rubbing his eyes in an even more tired gesture than normal. The decaf coffee had really done a number on him. "I've come to teach the class, Aizawa-kun." The blonde continued to laugh loudly. "What is it with UA and loud blondes?" Hitoshi snorted at that. The man had married a loud blonde. "Izuku, when do you think he's going to notice that his scarf is just a scarf?" Hitoshi murmured to Izuku. "When he tries to strangle All Might with it." Izuku was pointing to their dad, currently trying to wrap the larger man in his scarf to stop the loud shouting. He seemed very confused at the fact that the scarf was refusing to do what he wanted to do. "Are you alright, Aizawa-kun?" "Why does Aizawa-sensei seem so weird today?" Kirishima asked to no one in particular. If Aizawa had let out a frustrated screech at his lack of coffee, his scarf refusing to listen, and the annoying loud blonde man in front of him, then he would vehemently deny it to the day he died. This batch of problem children were more trouble than he had thought possible at the start of the year. Adding his sons into the mix had been a massive miscalculation. He needed to request a raise from the rat. Chapter 6. Conversation. Hizoshi and Hint. "Toshi, we've already done Dad, so let's do Papa next." Izuku plans, writing down some notes. "What should we do?" Hitoshi asked in a low voice. They were in Izuku's dorm, but they still didn't want to be overheard. A loud knock startled the twins out of their thought process. Both could identify who was on the other side of the door. Their dad had very distinctive tells when he wanted to be heard. The man was a stealth expert. If he wished to be silent, then he would be. "Hito, Izo, open the door, please." Their dad's ever-tired voice filtered into the space, muffled by the locked door in front of him. Hitoshi got up from his place beside Izuku, walking over to the door to unlock it and let him into Izuku's room. "No need to explain anything. I know the decaf coffee one was one of you two problem sons." The memory of his pure, amazing black coffee getting replaced by decaf coffee causing him to cry tears in despair in his mind. "We will neither confirm nor deny that statement," Izuku spoke, still focused on the notes he was taking. "Did you know that no one has realized that you're a dad yet? Or even that we're brothers?" "That doesn't surprise me. You wouldn't connect your quirk to mine. You're also very purple." Thanks for pointing out the obvious. Izuku looks like a mini you, though. His hair floats a little when he uses his quirk. His eyes even glow red. "Have you used your quirks in front of the class other than trying to pull pranks on everyone?" No. Only Denki and Shouta have seen them. They're your respective boyfriends, so I would have expected them to know. Izuku, do you actually think anyone will figure it out? If anyone figures it out, I reckon Bakugo will first. Izuku hums in contemplation. I'm much easier for someone to look at and think I'm related to our sensei. Don't call me sensei when I'm not teaching you. The other problem children have to. You just call me dad. I knew you were solved for your problem, sons. Hitoshi smirked. Say nothing. Dad, you wouldn't happen to know where we could get our hands on a spider, would you? Izuku and Hitoshi were bored. Classes had been the most uneventful the brothers had seen them since they joined the class. English was about to get more exciting, though. Not even Denki and Shouta knew what was about to happen. All right, little listeners, let's learn some English. Yeah! Their papa was completely unaware of the large spider that was starting its descent from one of the vents. The 8-legged monstrosity inching down closer to his face. It wasn't hard to realize when the man noticed it, his scream almost shattering all the windows and certainly their eardrums, fainting on the spot. Koda, you should ask that spider to leave now, please. Izuku compelled the shy boy, his quirk finally being shown to the class. No one paid any attention to the calculating red eyes, staring at the raven. Aimara, your quirk kind of reminds me of Aizawa-sensei. Your hair floats and your eyes glow red. The black hair makes it look even more similar. Is that right? How interesting. Izuku grins, picking up his stuff before patting Hitoshi on the shoulder and leaving the class. At least someone had realized. They just hadn't put those pieces together yet. That was chapter 4 through 6 of Mind Games Were All Related. I just want to say that sorry I haven't posted in a while. I've just got sick and school's been getting a bit hectic. I'm still just getting over my cold. And my little brother wants to say hi.
Hello, you gotta subscribe.
Okay, that was my little brother. Listen to him, I guess. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye.